Catch-up. Well, since Calvo Mawela assumed the reins of Multichoice last year, the company which owns pay TV platform DSTV, MNET and Supersport has been hit by a series of crises. Cosatu has accused the company of racist whitewashing after it released a report on the walkout of sports presenter Ashwin Willemse. Before that, the company was under fire over controversial contracts it signed with the SABC and ANN7. Consumers have been unhappy about prices and repeats, they say. And then there's the future. Can pay TV survive? Well, to discuss, we're now joined by the CEO of Multichoice, Calvo Mawela. Thank you for being with us, Mr.
Thank you
Mawela.
very much for inviting me.
So beyond all the issues, there's this issue about where is it all going? Will pay TV survive when anybody can go onto the internet and stream television? Are you looking at sort of a sunset, the end, or are you trying to find a way to navigate that future?
No, I think there is a place for both platforms to continue to coexist, and especially because in the most developed nations like Europe and the US, where you find both platforms currently existing, you see that there is an element of survival of the legacy pay television platform, while at the same time people are moving online. So as to whether...
That's now though, 10 years from now?
No. What I'm saying is it's happening now. Pay TV is under pressure in terms of its survival, and they continue to. But what you need to do as a business is to recognize that viewer habits are changing. People are moving online, and therefore, as a business, you need to respond to the changing habits of consumers and also move online. Hence, in our stable, we've decided to launch Showmax. We have decided to launch DSTV now because we recognize that as a business, we are definitely going to end up online, and therefore you need to build the online platform. And that's what we are doing currently.
So you've integrated Showmax, so consumers, like you say, do have both. Is it working?
It's at the beginning of the curve. We are beginning to see that, of course, there is a nice growth of people that are moving online. But of course, what we are seeing is that we're seeing a big decline in the premium subscribers at the highest level, which is putting pressure on our revenues going forward. However, we think that with the continuous investment into online platform and the attraction that we are seeing with people getting online, we should be able to see our business moving quickly into online and be able to capture where everybody is going, which is the online platform.
So you pay for DSTV, but you don't watch on a television set, you watch on your computer?
No, there are two things that are happening. You see, in terms of how people consume content, you need to be everywhere. That's how people are showing. In terms of premium, we're seeing people that are living premium are telling us they no longer want to watch the legacy pay TV platform. They prefer to watch elsewhere. What we are saying is that those that are keeping the legacy platform and then continue to complement it with the online platform are there as well. So we are continuing to service both sides of the market, but clearly what we are seeing all over the world and within the country itself, that people, once they started to move online, they prefer to see the content online. That's why we're investing into online, to make sure that we move with the times and we're able to capture the audience where it's going.
But how do you then compete with those who moved quicker and are global giants already, like Netflix?
That is the issue that I've been raising. As you have seen, you will have seen me in a number of newspapers where I'm speaking about the over-regulation of pay TV platform. And essentially what I was saying was that I'm not afraid of competition. I love competition because it puts pressure on us to be able to do better and be able to service the customers better. However, what we are seeing with the likes of Netflix coming into the country is that, first of all, they are unregulated. They do not pay a cent in this country for tax, yet they are getting revenue out of this country. They do not pay income tax. They don't employ even one people. All the people that you are employing now within the SABC, they do not have to employ them. And that's, we think it's an unfair advantage on them. Therefore, we said to ICASA, you are beginning to come up with regulation in this day and age that says regulate pay TV platform more and more. What for? You can see that we have got online players that have come into the market, and it means that we are regulating us more, we are giving them a free rein. All the issues that they've raised, that they've asked, that they propose to bring into regulations, the online players don't have to be subjected to those, and it's an unfair
What's an example
advantage.
of that regulation?
For instance, first of all, they are telling us that we should make our content available to third parties. Netflix, which is spending $8 billion a year producing its own original content that comes into the country, they are not subjected to that. They don't have to on-sell to other competitors into the market. Then it gives them a nice advantage in order to capture the audience. Whereas with us, you are telling us all the content that we are getting, we should be compelled to be able to on-sell to our competitors. So you are strangling us more and more while we are giving them free rein. This is not going to be sustainable for all the jobs that we have created into the country, and that you are going to destroy the broadcasting industry as we know it today. Look at this thing holistically, include all the audio-visual services that currently exist in the market. In that way, you'll be able to recognize that, yes, people are moving online. How do I level the playing field? Perhaps I need to reduce regulation onto the pay TV platform, make sure that they stand a chance to be able to compete with the online offerings that are coming in.
Talking about unfair advantage, that's what you are often accused of. People say you do have that monopoly right now. And I remember at one stage turning on radio stations and people were just phoning in about the price that they're paying for DSTV. Yeah. How many customers have you lost? Because you're saying you're losing a lot at the premium.
In the past financial year, we lost over 100,000 subscribers, the premium subscribers.
What sort of percentage is that?
Out of let me just say around 5 million subscribers. So it's a significant number if you think about premium, because the premium subscribers are the ones that we get more revenue from, and even the margins are much better. So it's significant in the past financial year. And we just released our results today, as we have seen from a national perspective. We also continue to see a decline in our premium subscribers. So that we are seeing in the whole market, that of course there is an issue around the premium subscription that we are seeing. But let me give you an example of what people don't appreciate with regards to the whole offering that we are giving. We are giving a whole entertainment for the whole family. Today, if you had a family of 3 and with your husband, you went out into Stekeneck and watch one movie. Tell us how much will you be spending? You understand? We are likely to be spending around 500, 600 rand. We are giving you the whole entertainment for the whole month on 800 rands. All the sports that you need to have. If you look at other markets, just to watch a Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao match, in the US, they ended up paying around $70 just to watch that match alone. In South Africa, once we have got premium, then you get everything.
You are raising something that, so I don't watch sports, and I know there are all these financial models, but people are still asking, why can't you just pick and choose the channels you want? Why do I have to pay for sports? Why can't I have my news channels?
Yeah, the model doesn't work, and we have looked at
so
that.
So just financially, you can't give that to me?
No, the model just doesn't work. And let me just give you an example of a country that recently did something like that. They went through a very vigorous, time-consuming regulation making in Canada, where they insisted that pay TV operators need to do a la carte. Guess what? Today, there is no uptake because consumers end up paying more for the same number of channels that they are getting today. So it came up to a 0-0 sum, whereas they went through this whole process altogether. However, what consumers don't understand is that what we are trying to do, we look at our research across the market, and then what we do is that we bring everybody together with different tastes of content. In that way, you attract a much larger audience, and then prices come down. That's how we do our packaging in order to make sure that we keep prices down, that will attract a bigger audience, because you have got children, you have got sports, you have got movies, and all other content that you have. In that way, you are able to bring prices down, and they are sustainable. But consumers, because probably they are not exposed to other markets that are trying this type of thing, where it's failing horribly, like in Canada that just introduced this, will begin to appreciate if we were to share the stories with them.
Yeah, all right. So I'm not going to get just my news channels. Let's talk about news channels, because there was a lot of suspicion left, I think, about the SABC contract, about ANN7, and without getting into the technicalities of encryption or non-encryption, the idea was that you wanted to maybe access officials to protect non-encryption, which protects your monopoly. Do you believe you've dealt with that suspicion, or been playing open cards with the public and saying, look, this is what we were doing, and this is why?
I think we did fairly. Of course, you will never satisfy everybody in any issue that comes up. But I think we have tried to explain what the issues were and what were the findings of the investigation that we carried out. And what people don't realize is that the Constitutional Court, with the highest decision-making body in this country, credible, and you can't question it in terms of the findings that it came up, it also came to the conclusion that encryption is not in the interest of the country. The judgment goes into details as to why it's not in the interest of the country to have encryption in the box. So once the arbiter, like the Constitutional Court, has come up to a finding, why are we still going back to the same issue?
So I think the issue was, were you lobbying for that outcome, or was it corruption? Do you think that people can trust you as your company, given the claims and given the fact that the contracts were secret? You know, why not just come out and say, this is exactly what we agreed to?
You see, and I can respond by saying that SABC entered into many contracts with many commercials, like including us, many others. If the SABC were to take out all the commercial contracts and share them with the public, you will not survive, because competitors are going to eat you for lunch. That's how it happens in business. Business, you enter into commercial contracts because there are elements that you include that specifically suits the business that you are running and gives you a fair advantage in terms of competing out there. That's why you don't see businesses sharing all the commercial contracts with everybody. So we did business transactions like any business does business transactions, and there were no findings of corruption. We made it clear to everybody what the findings were. So I don't think we should go back to that issue. Let's move forward as a country and be able to embrace all the issues that we are currently facing, like the issues around the likes of Netflix that are not going to invest a cent in this country. They are not going to employ anybody in this country, and we need to bring them into the regulatory net so that we can ensure that we grow the industry and continue to employ more people in this country. They need to do local content and the rest.
Okay, let's go to ANN7, because that then changed its name very quickly. You have said that there's going to be a new black-owned station. Are they up to win that sort of tender, as it were? What's happening?
No, we are in the process. We have outlined the process.
So it should be close.
We have outlined the process that we are following. People submitted their bids. We continue to evaluate, and at the appropriate time, once we have gone to our board with all the recommendations and everything, we'll announce as to what the outcome of this bid is.
How soon?
We are targeting to make sure that we make an announcement before the expiry of the current contract, so that we can give people an opportunity to know exactly what's coming next. But yeah, we have announced that, and we'll follow through.
So let's end it there. Have you defined, you know, people at the time were saying there were some contradictions. How do you pick and choose channels? How do you decide when to kick off a channel? Is it about content, quality, because then maybe you have to look at some of the knockoff soapies, or do you listen to what the public says? Have you defined that in your mind?
So what we do a whole lot of market research, and I'm sure the SABC also does the same thing before they put on any content onto their platform, as to what are the viewing habits, what is likely to succeed or not. And of course, it's a back and forth type of a thing where you interrogate it and eventually get to a position of comfort. So that's the first thing that you do. As to whether that is going to succeed, nobody knows. For instance, I can give you an example of a good program that we put in called The Wild back in the days, where it was short, beautiful, and everything. But it never attracted viewers on our platform, and we had to can it. So from time to time, you come with a concept and it succeeds, and if it succeeds, it's good. If it doesn't succeed, you also have to can it and look for fresh new content that can be appealing to us. So if you look at Mzansi, when we started it, of course people were skeptical as to will local content really be sustainable. Mzansi is our #1 channel currently, and it's generating a lot of revenue for us, and we continue to invest in local content, and local content has become a business imperative. So those are the trade-offs that you do as a business, but you do your research on a day-to-day basis and try to make sure that you are able to generate revenue and run a successful business.
All right, well, this has been really interesting. Thank you for your time this evening. And that was the CEO of Multichoice, Calvo Mawela. And I've taken up all our time. That was a wrap from Market Sense from the team. But Shantae and I will be back with your general news in full view very shortly. Stay with us.